griechische Mythologie, mit der habt ihr euch vielleicht mal damals in der Schule im Latein- oder im Altgriechischunterricht beschäftigt. Aber Zeus, Poseidon und Co. sind momentan wieder voll im Trend. Auf Disney Plus soll es zum Beispiel auch bald eine Serie zur Buchreihe Percy Jackson geben. Und auch egoFM-Künstlerin AURORA hat sich für ihr neues Album The Gods We Can Touch inspirieren lassen von der griechischen Mythologie. Jetzt ist sie mir zugeschaltet hier zum Metropol am Mittwochabend. AURORA is my guest today on egoFM. Hi, how are you?
Oh, Sebastian, I'm AURORA. Well, yes, I'm feeling very fine. It snowed in Norway yesterday, so it looks very beautiful outside. It's completely white. So I'm very happy because I love the snow. It makes me so happy. It's wonderful.
AURORA Sands of Snow. Welcome.
Yes.
Nice. The Gods We Can Touch. Your new album is out now. First of all, who is your favorite Greek/Roman god or goddess?
Well, I love many of them. It's very hard for me to choose. I do like, obviously, my own goddess that is named AURORA. She is the goddess of dawn, and she's sister of the moon and the sun, which I really like. But I like Eros as well. He was the god of like sensual desire, and Bacchus was the god of red wine, which I think is a very good god. And I guess Gaia also. She's the personification of Earth, and I really like Mother Earth, so maybe she's my favorite.
Do you even have a favorite saga?
Oh, well, I think one of my favorite stories from Greek mythology is how mankind was made. They say that Prometheus, he wasn't exactly a god, but he was a titan. And they say that he made us out of clay, that he sculpted mankind, like small people, out of clay, and then he had to steal the fire from the gods to bring us to life, his creations. And I really like that. I like the idea that we all have godlike fire within us. I think that sounds very poetic and good.
In general, why is that Greek mythology thing so fascinating to you?
Well, I think it's because I'm very fascinated by like people and history and religion, and I've been very curious to why religion changed through time the way it has changed, because a long time ago, we believed in like that God was in the earth, in ourselves, that it was like all around, and then with time we removed him from the earth and put him far away up in the sky. And I just think that's a very strange thing, and Greek mythology is kind of in the middle there somewhere. And I like that it was okay to be a woman, it was okay to be gay, it was okay to be sensual, to be curious, it was okay to be a trans person, or a trans woman, or a trans man, and it was okay. Like, they had more understanding back then than we do even now in our modern society in many occasions. So it's sad that we have forgotten so much. But I really like the kind of imperfection in Greek mythology. I like that the gods and goddesses aren't perfect.
AURORA, every song on your album is about a different figure in Greek mythology, but when listening to it, people can also connect themselves to the songs. Do you think that's because, in a way, Greek gods are similar to humans? If so, how?
Yes, and I think we should look at a man and see a man and a god, and I think we should look at a woman and see a woman and a goddess at the same time. And I really like that about the Greek gods, that they aren't as obsessed with perfection. I find the world's obsession with perfection very dangerous and very scary, because I don't think it does good things to our hearts and our minds to think that we have to be perfect and to kind of look up to perfection, because that shouldn't be the idealism of life, because life isn't perfect, and that's why it's so exciting and beautiful, But yeah, definitely, it's a very important point.
Your album was recorded, I wrote, in a kind of castle in Norway, wasn't it?
Yes.
How do you think, did that contribute to the magical and mystical sound?
Well, yes, of course it did. It really matters to me where I am when I make albums. I like to be different places with every album, so I never make one album in the same room, because then I feel like I won't be able to tell their souls apart, if that makes sense. And I feel like all my albums are my children. Like I'm a mother, and I like making them in different places. And this castle is a very beautiful place. It's about 2 hours by boat from Bergen. It's in this tiny town called Rosendal. And this small castle is kind of surrounded by these huge mountains. So it's like they're like hiding it or trying to protect this tiny castle that's in the middle there. It's very beautiful, and it's impossible to make something ugly in such a beautiful place. So I really think it helped.
Shout out and greetings to Rosendal.
Yeah.
Is it pronunciation Rosendal?
Rosendal.
Rosendal. Cool.
Rosendal. It's almost like German.
In einer Burg irgendwo in Norwegen. The album is such a perfect mixture of music that's stuck in your head, but also tracks that are deep and kind of magical, in my opinion. What did you have that in mind concerning the sound while writing the album? Did this mix happen naturally?
Well, yes, it did. It did happen in a very natural way. And I just really opened up my heart and my soul and my eyes when I made this album, and I tried to not think too much and not and to really be playful, because it's a very like strange mixture of a lot of genres and a lot of different sounds and styles of music, but it's very playful. It's kind of, there's no shame in this album. It has a very huge personality, I think. So I just I danced more and laughed more, and I just had fun. And I think that was a really important part in making this album musically. When I produced it with the Magnus Skylstad, it was very important that it stayed weird and playful.
Maybe fun is the most important part of making music. I don't know. I'm not a musician at all. Cure for me is the best example for this mixture, in my opinion.
True, it's very, very playful.
How do you decide if you want a song about an important topic to be stripped back or an in-your-face kind of track?
Yes. Well, yes, I know what you mean. I think, I don't know, it kind of just happens. Often when I care about the message really well, my instinct wants to tell the message to the people in a way that hits the body, that doesn't require you to think too much, but it's very like immediate and instinctive. It's often a thing that happens kind of coincidentally when I know that this is a message I want people to hear. But it's also very random. I kind of try to make, when I went into studio making that sound Cure for me, I thought first that I wanted to make something ugly. And I think that deep, deep, deep is kind of an ugly thing. But I wanted to try to, with myself, to have fun with something ugly and make it nice. So it's kind of like an ugly song, but with that it is also nice.
Aurora, you spoke and performed at the Global Climate Summit, COP26, and you mentioned it in interviews already, how important it is to fight for equality, justice, and our future in general. In Exhale, Inhale, you also sing about the environment. As an artist, how does that fight look like? How do you try to fight?
It's very important for all people in every battle, in every war, and in everything we fight for in this world, because we have so much beautiful things to fight for in ourselves and in each other and in the earth that we walk upon. And I think it's so important to always just figure out what your part is, because I think when we think that we have to do everything right and be perfect right away, like people get so pressured, I think, to like, okay, so I will use no plastic, I will only buy used clothes, and maybe I have to stop taking so many showers, and maybe I should not eat any meat, but I should not either eat avocados that have been sent from Mexico. Like, there are so many things that we get obsessed about, and I feel like people are too afraid to be involved in the environmental cause, because we know that we won't be as good as Greta Thunberg anyways, so why even try? And I think that's what is so important, that we don't have to be perfect right away. We can do small, important things, all of us, and take our time to figure out how we can both live a happy life, but also try to do a little thing or a big thing for the world. And for me, it's just the same. I try to figure out what my best way is. And I think it is with music and communicating a very complicated matter. I feel like they talk about the environment way too political when they say like, yes, CO2 emissions. A lot of people don't understand what that means. And a lot of the conversations online are also on English. So it's not reaching out to everyone. And it's a very huge problem, I think. So I'm trying to talk about the environmental battle in a more emotional way that people understand. That doesn't sound political or scary, but it sounds simple, because it is quite simple. But I think that's my biggest contribution that I can do.
Maybe the world deserves a better and more peaceful and more lovable marketing, talking about songs or movies and stuff.
Sexy. It's very sexy.
Thank you very much. Aurora, last question. In your behind the scenes video for your live stream, A Touch of the Divine, which is, by the way, a wonderful title, you said that technology helps to reach people with your music. You've recently played shows in London in real life again. I'm not joking, everybody. What was it like to see the fans, the warriors, as you can call them, face to face again after so long?
Well, it was lovely. I think human connection is so important, and we've had so little of it these 2 years. And they have done research, people who do research on the human brain and how we react to music, and why music is so important to us when we're sad and when we're happy. Like, we need music so much, and people who go to concerts often, to that experience being connected to like each other, and they look at something happening in the real world right in front of them, and they, we dance together and cheer and cry, to feel that kind of connection to both people around you and the music. It really makes us happy. So people who go to shows often, they are in general more happy than other people, and I can just imagine how sad people have been to not be able to like see this in real life. So it was really wonderful to be reminded of how beautiful this connection is, because they make, like, the warriors and the people who listen to the music, they make the music so large and meaningful and eternal. Like, they are the ones who makes the music magical.
It's such a strong power to link in or connect in emotions through songs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
The Gods We Can Touch is out now. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, and take care, and see you hopefully soon. And
yes.
I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks.
Thank you.